Okay, so we're about to go live. Shall we start, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
So, some say carbs are evil, and others worship protein. But in the chaos of food myths and miracle diets, one voice cuts through the noise. Today, that voice joins us. Greetings to all our viewers, and welcome to the season 4 and episode 6 of Coffee with Kalliope, a show where we view interesting stories with some of the most influential voices of our country. I am Shweta Dubey, and along with me, my co-host Divyanshi Shekhar. Joining us today is someone who's a data scientist, coach, and a mythbuster. With years of experience and a growing community of wellness enthusiasts looking up to him, his work speaks louder than action can trend. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome star nutritionist and trainer, Mr. Avinash Makhija. Hello, sir. How have you been?
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome, Shweta. Hi, Divyanshi. Good evening.
Hello, sir. We are very excited to have you with us today.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you.
So, before we jump into anything further, and trust me, we have a lot we want to ask you, and we look forward to learning a lot from you today. Firstly, we would love to know what was the starting point of your journey? Like, was there some personal experience or any moment when you realized that it's not just science of food, but sort of a passion to you? Was there any moment?
So, as a kid back in school, I started playing basketball when I was in my sixth standard. That's when I joined the summer internship of basketball or summer camp, you call it nowadays. It was a month or two program in my school itself, and I fell in love with that sport. And since then, I've been pursuing basketball for quite some time. And post 12th, when I went to study abroad in US, I actually gained a lot of weight. I quit playing basketball. I started eating a lot. I gained a lot of weight. But as an elective over there, there are certain courses that you need to take. And fitness was one of the courses which I took as an elective out there. And I think that caught my interest back in college. And since then, I think there was no looking back in terms of trying to stay fit and get healthy, eating clean, and trying to help other people, in fact, right now. So that's how my journey started.
That's great to know about. I'm sure a lot of people resonate with you, they relate with you, and how far you have come. I'm sure a lot of people see you as a role model. Did you have a role model or a mentor throughout your professional journey?
Um, I think along the way you end up finding a lot of people who would help you in every part of your life. Be it my coach, my first coach in my school, who was my basketball coach, followed with the coach which I had from my club as well, which I played later on, and then for my college and university and so on. I think each phase of your life, you have a different coach and a different mentor that helps you boost you to the next level. So I wouldn't call it one person, I wouldn't pick one name, but I would say it's a effort from each and everyone, even the lecturers in school or college, name anyone. So I think that's an overall help that has got me to where I am today.
Yes, so obviously it is the help from everyone, that
Right.
you are where you are. So I have a question for you. Like, everyone believes in, fitness trends and follows new trends every other day. So what is that one fitness belief you totally fell for back in the day? Like something that makes you cringe or laugh, thinking, "Wow, I really believe that."
I think till date, few people do believe that, wherein going on these crash diets that they follow. For instance, if you have an event coming up in like a week or two, people just don't eat and they starve themselves, saying that, okay, I'll just diet for a week and I'll lose that extra 1 or 2 kgs and I'm going to look great for the event or for the wedding or whatever reason I have a show coming up. I think that's the belief I had in the past as well. To lose weight, you got to follow a strict diet, eat the same kind of food, in fact, which is the biggest mistake anyone can ever do.
I totally agree. I mean, a lot of people believe that अच्छा कोई function आ रहा है, let's just not eat this week and we'll fit into the dress we
Correct.
want to.
Right.
And
Yeah.
obviously, what
Unfortunately.
matters Yeah, and what matters is the consistency. You have to follow that routine and you have to do that for a long, long time. So, obviously, consistency is the key, and not just in fitness, I mean, in every aspect of life, right? So, how do you manage to stay on the track, like both professionally and physically?
So I would say, like you mentioned, consistency is the key, no doubt about it. But more than that, I strongly believe that you just take one day at a time. If for some reason you end up eating a lot today, it really doesn't mean that you go on a crash diet tomorrow and you're going to lose out. Just because you diet tomorrow, whatever you ate today is fine. It really doesn't work that way. But on an overall monthly average, if you see, if you're calories or your macros are in check, I think that's fine, because end of the day, if you are staying fit, you should be able to enjoy the little treats every now and then. If there's a festival coming up, I mean, it's your summer holidays right now. If you're not eating ice cream, what's the point, right? So things like that. And mango, I mean, I can't live without mangoes. So neither can all of us. So I mean, that's particular season you get mangoes. So I think eating the right amount of proportion is very important in terms of staying fit. You can still eat sweets and stay fit. So keeping that in mind, I think eating very balanced portions is what I go with. Not only for me, that's what I suggest to everyone.
Yes, so we agree. As you mentioned, having a little sweet treat every now and then and getting to eat what we want. So that somehow connects to the concept of cheat meals, right? So do you agree that cheat meals are somehow good for people in staying with the routine, or it just messes with the consistency and the mindset of someone?
Uh, I wouldn't call it a cheat meal. That's a wrong term, I would say there. What you would want to say is a meal that you would want to enjoy. So, for instance, if tomorrow there is a birthday party that I'm going to, and I'm really not in the mood of eating the cake. So, just because of peer pressure, you end up having a bite, which is okay, but it doesn't mean that you have the entire slice of cake. However, over the weekend after a good meal, I feel like having a slice of cake. That's when I would actually go and eat that. So it's about choosing as to when you feel like eating rather than picking a day, okay, 1 week from now, I'm going to eat a cheat meal. But like I said, again, it's about portion control. As long as you have that, I mean, you can still eat sweets every day, which I almost do. So, and you can stay fit. It's just about choosing how you want to eat.
Obviously, sir, fitness shouldn't be a punishment for anyone. So,
Exactly.
since you mentioned, there's like also a dilemma in people, going on that you should maintain, perfect body and everything. So, do you ever feel the pressure to maintain a perfect body image because people look up to you? And, does that sometimes make you overthink your own body or diet more than needed?
I think all of us do come to a stage where we do feel we want to have that perfect shape, be it men or women, whoever it is. All of us do feel that at some part of our life. But personally, for me, I do not believe that having a perfect shape is required for me, instance, because to maintain that it takes a lot. And as you keep progressing by age, in your teens or your early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on, it is all the more difficult to maintain that kind of body because your metabolism changes and so on. So you would want to keep all of that in mind and go along with that and understand how your body functions, and then you would want to maintain your body in that direction.
So there is also one more question. Like, has there been any moment when you were, out with your friends and you were on a strict diet, but they were eating something very tempting and you just could not resist?
That's actually happened a lot of times, not once. So that's happened numerous number of times where this in fact happened, I think about 2 3 years ago, and it even still happens sometimes right now where I do go with a mindset where I don't want to eat certain things just because I don't feel like it. But when I see it coming on the table, it looks really tempting, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just have one small bite, and I end up having the entire thing. I think all of us end up doing that. But when I do that, I really have no regrets later on, because what is done is done. you would just want to look at the next step and see, okay, this is done. This was back in the past, even if it was an hour ago, and just go ahead and see what next to do and how to fix that.
Yeah, it's very true. Like you can't resist something if you are totally tempted by it. And there are great foods. I mean, me for one, I get emotionally attached to food. I wouldn't be able to cut my meals or something. And you have to deal with a lot of clients and different sort of clients. Someone who is very dedicated, someone who is trying to, but they somehow fail. And again, there are people who are emotionally attached to their food. So how do you deal with those clients? How do you get them to stay on track?
So I think food is the go-to for anyone when it comes to an emotional thing. When someone is stressed, you end up stress eating a lot, or when emotions are high, you feel food is the one that gives you a lot of comfort. But there is nothing wrong in that. But again, choosing the right kind of food is something which is very important. As simple, I mean, I can give you a very basic example. Chips is something which we all love. Now, you either buy the regular chips or you buy a baked one. It's your call. I mean, end of the day, the taste is kind of the same thing. There's a very minute difference in the taste, but if you can go ahead and enjoy the baked one, it's far better than having the deep fried chips. So small changes like that is something which helps in the long run, not just to help you lose that extra fat, but also in the long run, you can still enjoy food and eat whatever you want, but make sure it's the right pick.
So now we have, talked about emotional connection to food and stress eating, everything. But we also have to exercise and we need motivation for that as well. So, we all have those I can't do this, not today days while, working out. So, what is that you do to prevent that, you know, when that happens to you?
So, like I said, initially when I started off with any sport, it was a team sport. Basketball is a team sport, right? But when you do workout at the gym, it is more or less you're alone. There is, unless you have someone paired up with you, you have a gym buddy or someone who motivates you, who pushes you, basically. So it completely depends on one person or the other. If you are not a person who's into sports, I would strongly recommend that you pair up with someone or two, three people together, go for walks together. So it's more like you're just talking with your friends, exercising as well together. Even a quick 30-minute walk is a good exercise rather than just sitting on the phone and talking. You can still talk on the phone and walk. I think there was this ad long back, Abhishek Bachchan's ad with Vodafone, walk when you talk or something. He was walk while you talk. There was an ad, right? And that actually made a lot of sense back then. But unfortunately, their idea was to promote people to walk a little more. So unfortunately, the message did not come out clear. But I think sticking back to your roots of walking around, just pushing yourself day after day, looking at people who are working out, getting some motivation from them, and in fact, talking to people who actually work out on a daily basis kind of helps, because a person who's working out every day would never demotivate you or make you feel that if you are a beginner, oh, you are looked down upon. They would actually help you to rise up and get to their level as well. They would always do that. That's how sports people are. So you would want to surround yourself with at least one sports person in your group. That will help you in a big way.
That is actually very true. You can't just go around looking for motivation. Sometimes it has to come from within, and sometimes it's just right around the corner. You just have to look for the right people, right?
Correct.
Okay, so now let's just shift our trail to a little different track. And let me ask you, like, there's a lot of generational myths, like, especially in Indian households. Our parents, or in fact especially our grandparents, some of them will believe that gymming is bad for the heart, or eating fruits at night is a no, no, don't do that. And there are a lot of generational gap between having to prioritize your fitness and nutrition. They would say koi nahi zyada kha le, you will stay fit, and such sort of things. So how would you help us bridge those generational gaps?
Right. I think in our past, basically our parents, grandparents, they always give us advice or saying that, oh, हमने तो like whatever we wanted, we ate, and we lived up to 90 and all of that. I mean, you guys are working out so much, and you guys are already falling sick at this young age. But it also has to do with the kind of lifestyle they had back then. Uh, they didn't have computers back then. They didn't have smartphones back then, and the quality of air, the quality of vegetables, fruits, whatever you name it, was far better than what we have right now. Because with the, I would say, with the population increasing, the demand is way so much right now that there is a lot of production happening at a level which is not of great quality. So unfortunately, we are missing out on those nutrients, which is where we need to put that extra push on doing some kind of workout or some kind of exercise to keep ourselves fit. So since they come from an orthodox background, obviously it is fair for them to say that, but um, I think the healthier lifestyle right now is to keep a check on what you're eating. I'm not saying you can't eat anything. Of course, you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. But also, it has to come with a combination of eating right, eating clean, and also having some form of exercise. That's the right way to go about it. Even a quick 20, 30-minute workout or a sport, badminton, any sport you pick, swimming, anything, cricket, is a good workout in itself.
Yes, whatever you said is obviously, right. We should work out. But now we'll be moving to our next segment, a fun
Okay.
one, which is rapid fire. But before that, I would like to request our audience, guys, your questions are also welcome. Anything that you want to ask, sir, you can, ask, and our tech team will, take your questions and we'll ask on your behalf. Now, moving on to our next segment, which is rapid fire. The questions are going to be very rapid, so I hope you answer them rapidly and full of fire.
Yeah, that's why I had that water. So I know I was getting into it. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, so your first question is, what's one food you know you'll never give up?
Curd rice.
What are the three things in your gym bag right now?
Water bottle, a spray, and band-aid.
Okay, morning workout or midnight hustle?
Midnight hustle.
What's the biggest red flag you've seen in someone's fitness routine?
Dieting. Amen.
Okay, very straight. One song that never fails to fire you up at the gym.
Uh, Rockstar by Post Malone.
That's a good one. If your fridge could only hold 5 items forever, what would they be?
Just five.
Yes, just for you.
Okay. Yogurt, eggs, paneer, broccoli, and strawberries.
Which Indian household food do you think is underrated when it comes to fitness?
Sorry, what was that again?
Which Indian household food do you think is underrated when it comes to fitness?
Uh, that's a tough one. I would say it is. What do you call those? I would say I think dal, lentils, because you can make chilas out of that. People don't really know the benefits of it. Wait, that you can use it in your benefit. So
Yeah, very true. What's the weirdest diet trend you have ever come across?
no carb diet, zero carb diet. That's weird.
What do you think is more harmful, skipping breakfast or midnight snacking?
Both equally actually, but if I have to pick one, uh, I think skipping breakfast.
I think a lot of college students have to learn from this then.
I can imagine. I can connect with them. Yeah.
Next question. If you had to describe yourself as a food item, what would you be?
Yogurt, which goes with everything. So,
If nutrition was a Netflix series, what would you name it?
wow. Nutrition was a Netflix series. Can't think of a name, but I would say eat and stay healthy.
That is nice.
A sweet, simple one.
Yeah.
And the last question. What's the biggest misconception people have about nutritionist?
They feel that whenever you would go to a nutritionist, you would get these diets which are very difficult to follow, and you'll have to eat the same food every day, which is not true.
Okay. Sir, now we have, some questions from our viewers, and they are
Sure.
also very fast from this rapid fire round. So the first question is, if you could train any famous bodybuilder from the past or present, who would it be?
I don't think I would be qualified enough to train any bodybuilder because they would have way more experience than me. But if I have to pick one, I would definitely go for the OG, who's Arnold. So at least I can learn way more things from him.
Many people are, big fans of him.
I know, so am I.
Okay, one more question. Like, is your family also involved in fitness?
Yes, they are. In fact, my grandfather was into yoga. My dad is into yoga as well. So I've always come from that background where fitness was taken seriously in my family. So I think that's part of it, which kind of got me into sports activities as well, and then finally into fitness.
That explains a lot. The good genes run in the family, huh?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so now there's also one thing that, each day something new comes up. Another new research, another new trend, a new eating habit. How do you stay updated with all that? And how do you keep it evidence based? How do you say it's valid? And which one would you like to prefer in your own practice?
So I think off late, what's happened is with the boom of AI and everything, there are a lot of information out there, and people being on social media, they're just giving up their own claims. This is right, that is right. Every day and age, there's one or the other influencer coming up with other things the way they want to say it. But I think reading a lot of books and citations from different universities that have done a lot of research is where I would strongly suggest people to do that, because those come with a lot of studies back and the background as well, because they go on for like years together. And it's not just a data that they have for the last 30 days, they have data for years together, which would ideally make more sense to actually follow rather than just trying out what another influencer is just blindly saying just out of the blue. Just because they have a good body doesn't mean that they are always right. So knowledge is something which comes only from books.
I mean, I agree. You can't say everything on the internet is true. You can't follow everything blindly. I mean, you should trust, but not everyone, right?
Correct.
So, is there any specific current trend that you would like to use in your own practice?
What do you mean? What kind of trend are you talking about?
About the new food trends or some new research about a nutritionist, something similar?
So what I do is when anything I see, especially on Reels, and I'm sure all of us are like glued to our phone on Insta and everything, on your Reels. Whenever I come up with any influencer stating that okay, this is a good thing to eat. For example, there was one influencer who said vada pav is actually good for you. It's got a lot of protein in it. I don't know if that reel went viral. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was one of the big influencers in India who said that, and he actually mentions that if you remove the pav and only eat the vada, you actually get about 9 grams of protein and so on. So claims like that is something which is very bad, because a lot of people fell for it. And I do follow Jitendra Choksi a lot. I know him very pretty well, JC, the founder of Fitter. So even he came up with the claims stating that that is actually false and everything. So the people who actually know it's wrong, they actually voice it out. And few of my clients also actually fell for that, saying that, oh, I can start eating vada pav now. You're not letting us eat vada pav. But I told them don't fall for it, and I actually gave them the science behind it. And so I do a lot of fact check when things like this, because a lot of people do send me things saying that is this right or wrong? Should we follow this? So I do a lot of fact checks before answering anything.
That is a very good habit. So, since you are, online, and very active on Instagram. How do you balance showing up consistently online with hands on, work of managing the clients and everyone?
Um, so I think it's about to do with how you plan your day. So usually I plan my week a week before it's like today being a Saturday. So I would plan my week tomorrow for the rest of the week. Uh, and that's how I go about with it. It can be as minute as what time I'm training my clients, which client I'm training at what days. Everything is planned much before ahead in advance, and with the timing as well, and along with my workout routine and other things as well which I'm doing on the side. So everything is planned much before, and keeping that in mind, it gets a lot easier to follow everything, and I know when I have to go online on Instagram or other platforms to check everything or reply to messages. So I think being organized is something which helps a lot, actually.
I mean, obviously, staying consistent is not easy, and hearing you, I'm sure this is one of the reasons a lot of people idolize you, right? And
Yeah.
as you said, you reply to your DMs, messages from clients or from people who want to learn from you. Has there ever been a message that sticked around, that touched you, and it somehow like stayed there? It was that warm and that welcoming.
So usually when I do train clients, I usually go in the expectation that okay, I'm just going to help them out, and I want them to continue their fitness journey either with me or without me down the line. Point is they got to stay healthy and continue the journey. But a lot of people at the end of the journey, when they do reach where they want to reach, they would not stop and they would still want to continue with me. But unfortunately, I would have to tell them, no, you'll have to do it on your own. And once they do it on their own, 6 months down the line or 1 year down the line, there are a couple of people who actually sent me a message saying, that they're so grateful of what I helped them with and things like that. And I think that's what got me thinking. That's what kind of touched my heart, saying that, oh, okay, I did make a difference, even if it's that one or two different people, because they were still consistent and they are doing great right now in terms of the physical appearance as well, or even the internal strength and everything, what we want to say it. So their lifestyle has changed, which is what makes me happy looking at where they are right now.
So obviously you must feel very overwhelming because of those messages, and also that you can transform lives. But as you know, in today's era, as we see, mental well-being is as important as physical well-being. So if someone could just do something every day to for their mental well-being, what would you recommend?
So what I would recommend is just a 5 minute meditation, quick meditation, be it you're a college student or you're a working professional or whatever field you are in. I think a quiet 5 minute, just sit down to yourself before you sleep or once you wake up, whatever time in between in your busy day, just by yourselves, no music, nothing, just deep breathe for 5 minutes helps, and it does wonders. So it'll help your thought process, it'll keep you in check, and it'll give you the process of how to go about with your day.
Obviously it will slow our think with this in this fast-paced
Yeah,
world. It will slow our thinking, so it will really
correct.
be helpful. Also, I would like to know, what is the weirdest mental health advice you have followed and it has surprisingly worked for you?
Huh, that's interesting. I think meditating before sleeping, because I always thought, okay, I always had the understanding of, um, you know, planning the week ahead. But meditating before sleeping is something which I started recently in the last year or two, where it actually helps you sleep better and it helps you plan for your next day as well. So your thoughts are really with you, which was surprisingly uh, I saw that it worked out in my benefit. So, which people don't really see. I mean, you're usually on your phone end of the day, and you're like, "Huh, okay, I'm sleepy. I'll just keep the phone aside and just sleep." But I think meditating at night is something which is very, very important for everyone. Even if you're in bed, if you're just laying down, even if it's a couple of minutes, that actually helps you and it gives you a lot of deep sleep. So that has worked wonders for me.
I'm sure I'm gonna try that tonight.
Yeah.
And as we are on the topic of mental health, I have a fun question. And
Sure.
it's very common, it's all over the social media that gym is now the new therapist couch. Every heartbreak happens to hit harder than a leg break, and after every breakup, there's a new gym enthusiast, right? So, what's the first thing that you'd like to add to someone's post breakup workout plan?
uh that's a good one. So I think post breakup, you're in that zone. Whoever you are, it doesn't matter which gender you're in. You are in that zone where you have that, it's known as a pre-workout because you have that extra rush in you that you want to do something but you don't know what to do. So hitting the gym is more like therapy for a lot of people, where they feel, okay, let me just remove all my energy there. So which is a good thing, provided you do it for at least 3 4 weeks straight. Because if you just go for a day, then it's just a one-off day. But if you go for 3 4 weeks in straight, then it becomes a habit for you, and then you end up being in fitness, which is, so I think that breakup is a good thing that happened then. So you should
At
thank
the
that
end,
person.
yes, sir. At the end, consistency is the key.
Yeah, that's correct.
So
So
there is one question.
mhm.
What is the weirdest piece of advice you've ever gotten at the gym? And did it actually work or was it a total disaster?
Weirdest piece of advice. Okay. Hmm. Oh yeah, I was told by someone who I didn't know at the gym, that you can actually eat curd rice for a pre-workout meal, and I did not know that. But when I tried it, it actually worked out good for me. And because I thought you got to keep it light before you work out, of course you got to keep it light. But curd rice is a really good pre-workout meal. For one, it's cheap, and two, it's easily available everywhere. So it's easy to make as well if you want to cook it, and it works great for a pre-workout. I've seen huge results for that after having that.
I am sure our audience are taking notes right now and learning a lot from you.
That's
But we
good.
also noticed that recently on your birthday, you revealed your collab with Identity Fashion. So, what exactly do you look for in a brand before associating with them?
Yeah. So usually the brands that I've worked with in the past, or that I'm going to work in future with, are all locally sourced brands. In terms of all are make in India, is what I strongly support. And identity being in Bangalore, which I'm in Bangalore right now as well, is something which I've seen over the years, and I've used their products. In terms of, I've used their clothing a lot in the past as well. So I really like what they're doing in terms of the fashion, in the fashion industry, in terms of the clothing and apparel and everything. So I think it was the right move, since their whole idea is to just support and do everything in India itself. All their products are, and combined together, it's in India itself. There's nothing which is coming from some other country. So that idea I really liked about them, and that's why I am associated with them as well.
Surely, originality is a very key aspect that everyone should look forward to.
Yeah.
And when you do collaborate, how actively do you stay creative in that process? Like, do you get involved in the designing, the massaging, and even the campaign vibes? How involved are you?
So once there's any collab that comes through, there is a lot of backend going through on that. And I'm sure you guys know about how it works once the end product comes on your page on Instagram or whatever. There's a lot of work behind it. It's not that, okay, you get a product, you make a video, you edit it, and that's about it. So a whole concept is discussed with the brand. A whole script is discussed, in fact, and the lighting is discussed as to, okay, what kind of light is required, and as to what font is required on the reel or on the video as well. So every minute detail, I am a part of everything, along with the brand as well. Because end of the day, it's going to go in my page. And whatever goes in my page, I'm equally responsible, even if the brand is posting something. I got to know what is going, even each and every single word is what I look into.
Yes, sir. It obviously requires a lot of hard work, and kudos to you for putting in so much effort. Obviously,
Thank
it is
you.
going to greater heights. There is one question that I would, like to know the answer to. Like,
Sure.
what is the biggest and one common misconception people have about you and your work?
I think the grass is always greener on the other side. So people feel that, okay, he has got this amazing lifestyle where he's doing a lot of things. He is going out every now and then. He's doing a lot of collaborations. It's going great for him with all what he's posting. Of course, it is going great. Touch wood, which is nice. I would want it to go even more better, but it comes with a lot of hard work and consistency and dedication. Uh, so basically, you can't get here without putting in that hard work day after day after day after day. I mean, you got to start from somewhere, which even I did. I started from zero somewhere, someday. And to get to this point, it took me a lot of time. So it's not about just having a good physique and you're able to talk in front of the camera. It's not just that, but you should also believe in what you're truly doing. And just I think people still feel that, oh yeah, he's got a great lifestyle. I mean, I wish I had that, but it comes with a lot of effort. So I mean, even we look up to a lot of sports personalities or celebrities and all. Even if you say there's nepotism and all of that, but even they put in a lot of effort to get to where they are. So it looks easy from our end. We're like, yeah, they're born with a silver spoon, but not really. I mean, they got to put in even more extra work than what we actually do. So I think that's what people feel, and that's, I think, a very big misconception for them.
I mean, that's true. You have a great social media presence as well. So people look up to you, and obviously until someone don't know the doesn't know the entire story, obviously there are gonna be some misconceptions. Someone thinks it's easier for the others and all that. And as we are
Right.
on that talking of the myths, we all have heard those so-called facts about food, fitness, health and all. There are so many myths about that. And how many of them are actually true? It's tough to separate the facts from the fiction, right? And
Right.
who better to clear things up rather than you, sir, with all the knowledge and experience you bring to the table. If it's fine with you, we would like to give you some questions and you will help us clarify which is a myth and which is a fact.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so the first myth is it's commonly believed in Indian households that ghee enhances strength. How accurate is this claim?
Um, it is actually kind of true, I would say, because if you are in North India, I think ghee, putting it on dal chawal or roti, making ghee, using ghee instead of oil in cooking as well is a natural tendency for people up north and south. They put it on the rice and eat it, and whatnot. Uh, goes with east or west as well. So overall, India uses a lot of ghee, but I strongly believe adding it in proportion is definitely going to help you in your benefit, because it does strengthen you, but not to the extent what our parents or grandparents would claim. Because eating in proportion is always good. So anything you eat, even if you end up eating something good for your body, but in a lot in quantity, it turns out to be harmful for you. So I think eating ghee in good amount of proportion would actually benefit you on a daily basis. So you just got to know how and when to eat it.
That's true. And talking of proportions, that brings us to another myth. And it's is it true that eating less or starving is the most effective way to lose weight?
Starving, definitely not. That's a big no. It is a big no. But eating less, I won't say, but eating in proportion, yes. Um, I don't think eating in proportion is considered as eating less, because as again, as a general household, I mean, people would just eat normal dal chawal and sabzi, or pickle with it or papad with it. That's about it. or roti sabzi and dal. Maybe that's about it. But that is not a complete meal in itself. So you end up eating a lot of rice. Dal again has got a lot of carbs in it. So that is mainly a carb-based meal. So it's not a wholesome meal. So when you say eating in proportion, I would reduce the quantity of rice, maybe add a curd to it, add a little more sabzi to it, add some salad to it, and make it a more balanced meal. So that way you would eat less, but less of many things.
If not eating less, then would you say that how our parents say, eat more and that's how you're gonna stay fit? Is that true then?
Sorry, what was that?
Eat more and then you're gonna stay fit, as our parents say. Would you say that is true?
Uh, Not so much, but eat more. I mean, for them, every kid wants to eat more, and like I said, they're pretty orthodox. For them, eating more is something which is a sign of showing their love towards you, feeding the kids, of course, which is fine once in a while. But again, eating more of different things together is good. There's a cup of salad, there's 2 cups of veggies, 1 cup of dal, 1 cup of curd, and then 1 cup of rice, rather than eating one big bowl of rice and then just one veggie and dal. So you're still eating the same amount of quantity. It's just that it's broken down into different parts.
So in the end, variety and proportion, that is what matters.
Definitely.
So our next myth is drinking warm water with lemon in the morning truly a miracle detox, or is it just a myth?
It actually works wonders, because when you do wake up, your body is pretty, it's the state where it's had no movement and it's been fasting and everything. So you would want to give it something warm to start it off, rather than just taking in like a cold milkshake or some like a glass of cold water as well. Because even if you see ancient, no, not only India, even China and all of that, even Japan till date follows, where they wake up and drink a warm glass of water. That still goes on in Japan right now. A lot of majority of the people do it there, which is why it helps in a lot of ways in terms of clearing your gut, keeping you more healthy and fit as well. So I would definitely recommend that.
And as that is very true, and all of us should follow it, there's also a concept of detox gummies. You see that all over the social media, and there are tablets. They say they'll help you reduce weight easily or keep you refreshed. Are all those true, or we shouldn't follow them?
I would. It's a very tricky situation. A lot of brands are coming up with a lot of things right now, especially the detox gummies and whatnot, detox tablets. You just put in water and just drink it, whatnot. You would want to choose it wisely, is what I would say. Do not blindly trust what influencers are posting on their Instagram with collaborations and everything, because end of the day, they are getting paid to say what the brand wants them to say, right? So, and whatever you want to say, those gummies are still processed. It's not natural. You rather make a detox juice at home. I mean, you just have a normal ABC juice, which is apple, um, a normal ABC, beetroot and carrot. You just have that. It'll also work wonders first thing in the morning. So I would stick to having it naturally as much as possible at home, prepared at home, rather than having it the shortcut way, because usually people look for a shortcut which only gives you results immediately, but in the long run, the moment you hit 40, 50, it's all going to come back and bite you.
So
That's
yeah,
very true.
college students must know that not always shortcuts work. It is
Yeah, I
only
mean,
for the
yeah, definitely. You guys know better, right? With your studies as well. I mean, you can just learn the small for the unit test or whatever the lab you have, but not for the main exam.
I mean, we definitely cleared all the myths we had. I thought I'll go call my mom, like, देखा ज़्यादा खाने से fit नहीं होते, but I guess parents are not that wrong.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Okay, now sadly we don't have much time left. We'll have just another few questions we'd like to ask you.
Sure.
And one of them we would love to know is more about your brand. How do you envision the future of your brand and your work, and what goals are you aiming to achieve right now?
So honestly, right now, with my brand being myself, my main goal is to help as many people as possible, and I'm trying to venture out into different paths where, like for example, identity is one of the brands that I got associated with recently. So it's not just a collaboration with them, but it's also to make sure people understand that you got to support brands in India as well, and not just go for the big ones which look or have a good name out there, but the brands in India are no less. And I mean, things like that, supporting other brands as well. The things that I consume on a daily basis are majority, I won't say everything, but majoritively made in India itself. So I think that gives out a good message, not only to the people who follow me, but also to others as well, that if you do support people locally, I mean, it is end of the day, you are giving back to the society in any way possible from your end as well, because if you support your community, the community is going to be there for you. So that's what I strongly believe in.
Yes, obviously, we should support our people first and then run after everyone else.
Correct.
So, since we have a lot of hostelites and college students here watching you, so can you tell us what is the ultimate hostel fitness plan that you would suggest for
That's
students?
a tricky one to give, actually. Uh, it depends on your goals, I would strongly say. But as a general goal for any student, any person, anyone, I would suggest you guys to have at least 1 gram of protein for every 1 kg of your weight on a daily basis. So, for instance, if you are weighing about 50 kgs of weight, you would want to eat 50 grams of protein on a daily basis. So, if you are in hospital, I understand the food can be a little challenging sometimes in terms of nutrition, but having few things in your room would actually be very helpful. Um, be it unsweetened peanut butter, some bread in your room, not the regular white or brown bread, but a good brand bread which has got some protein in it. Because late night snacking is something which you guys do a lot because of your studies, of course. Uh, so, keeping that in mind, you would want to keep such things, and I would strongly go against protein bars. Do not keep those because those are just high in sugar and calories. It's not really high protein bars. Um, but I think basic things which can be kept, even as simple as Maggie is something which is your go-to. I know quickly bana dete 5 minute chalo group study mein, things like that. But instead, if you can switch to a millet based, same as a brand called Slurp, I guess. That's a good alternative for Maggie. It tastes pretty similar, but not that good as Maggie, but it's a good alternative. So I think having those alternatives or those extra things in your room, along with what you're eating, like I mentioned earlier, a good plate, overall well-being of plate. Eating a lot of veggies is a big plus because I know there are certain veggies they serve in hostel which is not that great. Not a lot of people eat it, so you might as well take advantage because there'll be a lot left. You can eat more of that, and having some salad in your room, keeping it out. It's always good. You can always quickly cut and just have it as a snack. Fruits as well is a good option to keep as well. So I think such things, if you do follow it on a daily basis, you would see a lot more energy for yourselves, rather than having one Red Bull at night to stay up all night to drink. Sorry, to drink that just to study. My bad. So you would want to not avoid such things because you guys are pretty young right now. Your body will be able to take it right now, but your body would get so used to it that once you start working or in a corporate or whatever field you get into, without that, it's very difficult for you to manage. So keep it clean, and I think that's the way about to go with it.
I mean, Maggie is our exam night savior, but okay, we'll try to incorporate healthy meals.
Yeah,
So, sir, we have one question from the audience.
sure.
Uh, If you had a kitchen garden, which plants would you absolutely make sure to grow?
I think that'll boil down to the five things that I wanted to keep in my fridge. There were two in that. One is broccoli, and the other one is strawberries, because these two are the things that I consume on a daily basis. And along with that, I think all veggies as well, all kinds of herbs as well, because one, they are very expensive outside, so I would want them to have it, I would want it to have it for free on a daily basis. I think that's about it. I think everything else is okay because I eat a lot of veggies on a daily basis, like a lot. So anything that I eat, if I can grow it, it'll actually save me a lot of money, so I would do that.
That's true. I mean, staying fit isn't easy and isn't cheap as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so that was it with our questions, and it was great to talk, great talking to you, sir. I, Shweta, and everyone, each one of the audience, we learned a lot today, and we look forward to seeing a lot of you following your plans and continuing this fitness journey with you. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and providing such amazing insights. On behalf of everyone watching us today, as well as those who will watch us in the future, I can confidently say that every moment of today's episode was truly worth watching.
Yeah, so likewise, yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, and appreciate all your time. Not only you both, but even the entire audience back there. And if you guys have any questions anytime, feel free to reach out on my DMs on Instagram. I'll be more than happy to help any one of y'all. And yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing you guys more.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
With this, our coffee pot is emptied for the day. Don't worry, we'll be back with fresher brews and new beans filled with much and more energy. Don't forget to show your love for this episode on KSAC's official YouTube channel, and for more exciting content, make sure to follow Calliope's Instagram as well as LinkedIn page and stay updated on all of our latest events. It was an absolute privilege to be in conversation with you, sir, Mr. Avinash Makhija. And with this, we will conclude our episode 6, season 4 of KWK. Thank you for tuning in. We are your hosts, Divyanshi Shekhar and Shweta Dubey, signing off.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.